All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Rakah Kodash. I want to give double honors to my apostles and elders, great millstone, who teach very well, water this truth from, and salutation out there to the hopeful elect, who continually push his word in our truth, faith, and sincerity. And also, Shalom to all the men, women, and children who sincerely believe upon the words of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua. And today, man, just basically getting and touching on this devil coming down having great wrath, because he know that he have but a short time, and there's certain things and laws and legislations that this guy already have prepped, to put Jake ultimately into captivity, man. Before I start off, let's start off with this, man, because at the end of the day, a lot of these people, especially those of the northern tribe, they trust in Esau, and you can see why. Because Esau have deceived the northern tribe to thinking that America was a place of peace. You'll catch a Mexican thinking Esau just for the opportunity to work, just for the opportunity to have a better life. Guess what, man? This devil, he's finna get ready to show his horns in these latter days, and you bigging this guy up just because he gave you a raise. You bigging this guy up just because he let you work on his house. Guess what? All those things is going to be vain, because Esau, he's going to use you and then throw you away like you a minstrel cloth, man. But guess what? These northern tribe people, they just now realizing it. Jake is used to the oppression of Esau, but the northern tribe, they actually look for Esau for comfort. Let's get this real quick. This is the book of Sirach 12 and 10. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. And that's it. Because this certain northern tribe, when I mean about the northern tribe, the Hondurans, the Chileans, Brazilians, the Cubans, Puerto Ricans, these Latino tribes, ultimately they look up towards Esau. Again, whether it be from the Spaniards, niggas hype because Spain won a World Cup and say, yeah, man, that's really us. Not knowing that at the end of the day, these guys are the ones that really put your people in captivity. Put your people into slavery. And even then, you can go back into it. Every time the tribes came over here, not the tribes, but when Christopher Columbus came over here, it was only the northern tribes that was here, and they nursed this guy from health, from sickness all the way to health, man. And soon as this guy was healthy, what's the first thing he did? Did he thank you guys? Did he appreciate you or give you an offering? No. Soon as this guy got healthy, he pushed forth the sword. And that's why it says right here, never trust thine enemy, for like his iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. So you trust him just because he got you a green card? You trusting him just because you a bricklayer now? No, man. Ultimately, at the end of the day, he will begin to show his horns. Let's go down real quick. This is the book of Sirach 12, and I'm going to start at verse 16. It says, an enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagineth how to throw thee into a pit. So again, he's speaking sweetly with your lips. He tell you to get a couple of your homeboys to come over from the border and they'll work for me too. That's him speaking sweetly with his lips, but in his heart, he imagined how to throw you into a pit. Because as soon as he used you up, he's going to call ice on you, brother. I know that happened down here in Birmingham, Alabama, Tarrant, Alabama. I think it was like 30 Latinos had got trapped up by ICE. And we really don't know their whereabouts, because ultimately they give you that green card. They let you go with this illegal status. Ultimately, they let you rent cars and all these different things. But when they're done with you, they could just ship you back or ship you into somewhere else. Which that's what I'm finna base this video off of. I have an article queued up. But let's finish this scripture. It says, he will weep with his eyes, but if he find opportunity, he would not be satisfied with blood. And this is the opportunity for him to come hard on you northern tribe, and you deserve it. You guys worship Mother Mary, the Day of the Dead. The northern tribe is wicked. And this is the reason why the evils is coming upon you. And Jake already getting it. Jake gonna get it too. The niggas gonna get it too, and the Mexican niggas. But again, this is a show to show you that Yahweh Hashem Shah is working here in these latter days. Let's go ahead and continue on. If adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first. And though he pretend to help thee, yet shall he undermine thee. And again, a lot of these northern tribes came to America for what? Opportunity. Even tells you that in the scriptures how the northern tribe people was going to bring their children up into the murderer. But you thought it was going to be the land of the free and the home of the brave. They gave you a green card, they gave you that. Some of them got citizenship, some of them don't. They let you rent cars, rent apartments, and let you go away scot-free until a day when he has no use for you, man. Because what you finna get ready to learn, he consider a lot of these people upon the planet Earth as useless eaters. Let's go ahead and continue on, though. It says he will shake his head and clap his hands and whisper much and change his countenance. So again, what's that boy name? I forgot, but Mr. George. Mr. George gave you a raise and all that. But it's gonna get to a day when Mr. George is gonna underline you, man. And he's gonna show his horns and reveal himself as he truly is in this Esau Edom, the devil that the Bible speaks of. And you can tell through the way of this guy legislations. Now, real quick, I have an article from Cali Matters, and it says what the sale of ICE to detention centers reveals about Trump's new immigration strategy. The Trump administration is trying to lock down immigration detention capacity in California, despite opposition from the state's Democratic leaders. So they already building up detention centers. It's already out there for what? The immigrants. Let's read a little bit more. It says, as California officials try to block immigration facilities across the state, and in these different facilities, which is nothing but a prison, the cousin of a prison, ultimately, the people who fund it, they get paid off of it, man. Like the prisons is owned by private owners. These detention centers is owned by private owners too. Let's go ahead and continue on. And they let you pay for it. Why they getting the money off of it? Whether it be a workforce labor camp or whether it be a guillotine camp. Let's go ahead and read a little bit more. It says Trump administration is deploying a new strategy to secure detention capacity on the West Coast, is buying up the real estate outright. And that's what this guy is doing. He's really showing you who he truly is. Just like Bill Gates bought all the real estate of the farmland, they buying all the real estate so they can build data centers and detention centers on there, man. And again, these people are so ignorant to not know what's going on. Let's continue on. It says the Department of Homeland Security's $1.5 billion purchase of the Otay Mesa Detention Center and the California City Detention Center from the private prison company CoreCivic. In that sense, ultimately you keeping it inside the family, for the lack of better words, man. Because again, those private centers is really owned by these elites. How much gonna bet Trump name or somebody who's related to Trump name is on that CoreCivic Center board or whatever you call it? It's a direct response to the state's political resistance to the new and existing ICE detention facilities, government officials say. Immigration and Customs Enforcement spokesman Jason Sweeney said in a statement that California detention centers are crucial to ICE detention network on the West Coast, because that's where they go. California and Texas. That's one of their the Northern Tribe main goals, but main areas that they dwell in. The South, specifically, but guess what? Texas, because it's their border right there. New Mexico, of course, and California. And this is a thing that Esau is doing to really cut people off and really have them under control and force you to go into a certain way. Because it's going to get to a point when this devil is going to try to force a tiny little device upon these people. Let's continue on. Unlike in states like Florida and Oklahoma, ICE cannot rely on a state and county Partners for Detention Space in California, Sweeney said. The state's sanctuary politicians continue to push legislation to outlaw or make private prisons financially infeasible. The conflict dates to the last Trump administrations when California's Democrats raced to adopt policies that could counter his first deportation push. So again, it's like you can say, oh, they fight back and forth. These different governors, yeah, they fight for us to have it. But this is nothing but WWE, man. The outcome is already predestinated. These detention centers is ultimately going to come to pass. And they already have the infrastructure set up, man. It's not like, they got to take 6 to 12 months to build a whole new prison to make. No. Everything is already set up, man. Let's go ahead and see. And it's the same thing that even happened during the time of the Obamas. Because you can say the Democrats, they fight for it. But if you go back into the history of Obama, he had a lot of kids under a bridge, a fence over it, man. Showing you that these devils is ultimately coming after certain people, man. Because there's a lot of, rub and tug shops. They have the Asians here. It's a lot of Hamites and Elamites that's over here that don't have their correct paperwork. But why are you specifically coming after a specific nation? It's because they are of the children of Israel. Let's go ahead and get this in the book of Psalms. Because again, all this makes sense. Because what about the Asians and the Hamites and the Elamites, the Indians and the Africans that don't have their correct paperwork? You're not deporting them out. You're not taking away their 5-year-olds and their 10-year-olds and separating their families. The reason why, because you know who are the children of Israel. Let's get this real quick. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 10, and I'm going to start at verse 8. It says, he sitteth in the lurking places of the villages. In the secret places does he murder the innocent. His eyes are privily set against the poor. Yes, so he is not worried about the Asians that have these different massage parlors, or these different African braiding shops, or these different Elamite gas stations and hair braid. No, you worried about the taco shops and the wing spots, man. Because again, you coming after a specific people, You're not worried about Ishmael and Elam and what they got going on. What about the sand niggas? These supposed to be the guys that supposed to have the weapons of mass destruction, these Arabs, but you let them go away scot-free. You give them loans to rent out gas stations. You give them loans to rent out buildings, to have a massage parlor. But soon as an Ishmaelite do something, you taking him to jail. Or taking him into a detention center, or you asking him, hey man, where your papers at? Are you legally here? And again, that's right, because you niggas who come from Mexican descent, you thought you was the white man. But guess what? This guy is showing you that you're nothing but a nigga, man. You're just like us, Northern Tribe brothers. Just because your skin may be a little fair, just because you got curly hair, doesn't mean the white man is going to accept you in his society, man. The Lord is showing you that he hates you. He's dedicating different detention centers just so he can lock you up and deport you back, or lock you up and do whatever he wants to you. That's why it says in the secret places doth he murder the innocent. We don't know what's going on out there, man. But we know what? That's the fulfillment of biblical prophecy. Because now you guys are getting the same judgment that the nation of Israel, the northern tribe, you're getting the same behavior or the same treatment that the southern tribe been getting. The animosity, the hatred is showing more and more. Let's go ahead and get this real quick. This is the book of Jeremiah 50 and verse 33. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together. The children of Israel is the northern tribe, the Latinos and the Native Americans. And the Judah is the representation of the so-called black Americans, man. The Judites and the Benjamites and the Levites, the Jamaicans and the Haitians. Continuing on. It says, and all that took them captives held them fast. They refused to let them go. And that's it. Because again, it's not like Esau wants you to be like, no, I'm gonna let y'all go and y'all can rule over me. You ain't gotta have a social security card. You ain't gotta do this. You ain't gotta have a green. Y'all can rule over me. He's not gonna do that. He's gonna be in the same spirit of Pharaoh, man, because he know the use of the northern tribe. You know, he know that they were good workers. Even when you go into Issachar, they are hard working ass stuck between two burdens. They know that they're good workers, so they use you for what they need to. Again, a lot of these detention centers might be workforce camps. You know, let's go ahead and continue on. It says the Redeemer is strong. The Lord of hosts, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, is his name. That's it. And that's who the northern tribe should be looking for here in these latter days. Not the so-called white man. Not for you to march up and down the street. No, you should be looking for Yahushua. Because that's the power that put you in that situation. And that's going to be the same power that's going to deliver you from it. It says he shall thoroughly plead their cause in Psyche, that he may give them rest to the land and disquiet the inhabitants of Babylon. And that's what the Lord is going to get ready to do, disquiet these different Americans. And this is why great fear is falling upon these people also. And this is why he's in the spirit of desperation. Desperate times calls for desperate measures. He's doing things outrageously. He don't care if you can see the deep fakes into it or not, because he know that our Lord is coming to deliver us. So his only solution is to try to cut us off from being a people. Already, cutting us off from our heritage. But one of these guys' ultimate goal too also is to really just cut off 7.5 billion people from the planet Earth. And most of those people are going to be Jake. Ain't like we're going to start with the Asians. No. He's going to start with the children of Israel. And this is why here in these latter days, we need our Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. Because this guy, he's coming down having great wrath. And if you don't know of the Lord, or if you don't want to get to know the Lord, or if you reject this word and this truth, guess what? You're going to get caught up in these plagues. When this guy come in as a flood, the Lord is going to let that flood overtake you. But for the ones who return, guess what? The Lord, he's going to lift up a standard. Let's go ahead and get something real quick, and we're going to close it out. This book of Psalms. Yep, this is the book of Psalms 124:1. It says, if it had not been the Lord who was on our side, now Israel may say, if it had not been the Lord who was on our side when men rose up against us. And yes, we can't, even though Esau, he's not doing it right now, but we can see him prepping. He's already prepping these different centers, these different military operatives. They already prepped guys to walk through the streets with M16s to bring forth order in the streets. They already got these things prepped. The YouTube guidelines, that's a part of these people rising up against us also. These guys got an IP address, and they know that ultimately our word and our doctrine is speaking against this kingdom. No, we're not going to do nothing physically. Like it says in Exodus 14th chapter, the Lord is going to fight for us. But this devil, he's going to try to fight against the Lord. This is how wild he is. So how much more us? He's finna get ready to throw the whole kitchen sink. He already got robotic dogs prepped. These robots that can fight. These different, I think it's like a VCP drones. Drones that can fly into you and blow up. He already got these different security cameras out here to see where you at. He have your cell phone. So he's finna get ready to rise up against you. And, it ain't like this guy got to take a 6-year plan, man. In a matter of 2 hours, Esau can roll things out, man. But again, the water Yahweh Hashem Yahushua for having that protection. That's why it says, then they would have swallowed us up quick. Yes. Because of this guy's technology, his laws, he can even put your face on TV and make you the bad guy now. It says, then they had swallowed us up quick when their wrath was kindled against us. Then the waters had overwhelmed us. The streams had gone over our soul. Then the proud waters had gone over our soul. And that's Esau eating that proud water. Because this guy, again, he's going to come down having great wrath like a flood. Because he knows that he has but a short time. He knows that Yahushua is returning. And he also knows that we returning unto Yahushua. The Lord is going to get ready to meet us in the middle, for the lack of better words, man. Like the prodigal son. He's seen us afar off. But he can see that the nation of Israel is waking back up. And again, this is his ultimate fear here in these latter days. It says, blessed be the Lord who have not given us as a prey unto their teeth. Yes, so the Lord is not going to give the elect as a prey unto their teeth. But the 2/3, when they get caught up in this detention center, when they get caught up in these concentration camps, they're going to be a prey unto their teeth. But for the ones who trust in the Lord, guess what? It says our soul is escaped. So just like in Acts the 12th chapter, Peter escaped from that concentration camp. Hey, if you have the faith, if your faith is strong enough, guess what? The Lord can make that happen unto you. Our soul is escaped as a bird out of the snare of the fowler. The snare is broken and we are escaped. So the snares of Esau, the traps, these different detention centers, these different things they're going to try to use to demonize us, the Lord's going to break that apart to really glorify his name. Continuing on, our help is in the name of the Lord, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, who made heaven and earth. And that's it, man. You know, when that power is on your side, nothing else can fight against you. And this is why Esau is coming to a desperate mindset. So yeah, I pray this video is edifying and give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua, by Hashem Rakak Kodash. I want to give it up honor to my apostle, elders, great millstone, and shalom.